So today we're continuing the work here on our Subaru. In the previous video I went over regarding that currently this has an issue regarding torque binding. How to disable the system, which takes about 1 minute to do so, and I'm going to do this from a viewer's perspective. In other words, the cheapest way possible. This may work, changing the transmission and the rear differential fluid. If it works, fantastic. If it doesn't, then it will need a control valve body. New part, 800 bucks. Used, about 150 with a warranty. And obviously that's the route I would go. So let's jack up the vehicle, place it on jack stands, and let's see what happens. Now I'm jacking up the vehicle from the front cross member. There's a plate there. At the rear, I'll jack it up from, actually the rear differential. And we'll place it on jack stands. So let's start by removing the drain pan bolt, which is right there. Now to make this easy, I'm just going to tap that wrench loose with a 3-pound hammer. That way you don't have to go crazy trying to remove this, especially if the angle is sort of tough for you. There we go. Okay, grab the drain pan. Okay, a couple of things I just want to mention very quickly. Of course, clean off the drain plug. Regarding the washer, I tend to reuse them. Subaru does recommend replacing it, but if it looks to be in good shape, I've had no issues in the past. But if you do want to replace it, you can typically find them on Amazon. Regarding the fluid, if you have a 2005 and newer Subaru with an automatic transmission, not a CVT, an automatic, chances are you're going to use type HP. Whoop, there you go. Now type HP is not the same as H+, two distinctly different fluids. So check your owner's manual, verify which fluid is the correct for your specific vehicle. I purchased this off Amazon, roughly $8 a quart, had it within 2 days. Your local auto parts store may have it, but nonetheless I'll have links in the description box below. So now I'm just going to measure how much came out of the transmission. And by the way, this is a 17 millimeter, if you're curious. Don't have to over torque it. Just make it nice and snug, and that's it. Now for the rear differential fluid, easy enough. Just follow the drive shafts, and they lead directly to the rear differential. Just to give you a different view, if you're not too sure where that is, smack in the rear. Again, precisely where the wheels are, because the drive shafts lead right into it. So you have two plugs, a bottom and a top. The bottom plug is your drain plug. Top one is your filler plug. To remove this, I will use a 1/2-inch drive breaker bar, something like $9 off Amazon. Makes it incredibly easy to remove. Again, use a breaker bar, makes the job so much easier. And here we go. Once it's loose enough, I'll jump over to a 1/2-inch drive ratchet. Doesn't look too bad, the fluid, once you shine the light in it, but good time to replace it. Now in case you mix up the drain and the fill plug, the drain plug, which is the bottom plug, has a magnet attached to the bottom of it. Okay, bottom drain, top is your fill. Now before I reinstall the drain plug, of course just check the magnet. If you see any chunks of metal, then of course you have a problem. Everything looks okay here, and this is just some RTV sealant, and this will just make a real nice seal so we don't have any leaks. Now when it comes time to installing the differential fluid, there's a lot of different ways you could do this. You just need some working room, and what I tend to use is just a rubber hose. This is 3/8 of an inch in diameter. Place it on the end here, nice and snug. Now the capacity of the rear differential here is less than a quart. It's around 0.8 of 1 quart. So once you fill up the diff here, once the fluid starts to drip out, you're done. So I'm just going to angle this like so, and now we can squeeze in the fluid. Now don't forget, also I did add some RTV sealant around the plug, and now let's just wrap it up with the transmission fluid. Now in my case, roughly 3 quarts came out, a little over 3 quarts. Okay, let's quickly check the fluid here. Now just in case if it didn't show you, the driver's side, yellow dipstick, okay? This is where it's located. If you're curious what this is on the other end, on the passenger side, that's for your differential fluid. Hold on, right there, okay? So that's differential fluid. This is automatic transmission fluid. Now if you do have a stick shift, we did a previous video on gear oil replacement. Just check out the playlist. We have a Subaru repair playlist, which I'll include the link below if you want to check that out. Okay. It's actually a touch too much. You really don't want to overfill these. Let me check it one more time. And I'll show you, actually let me show you right now. So in the dipstick you have 2 markings really. One is for hot, which is right here where my thumb is. The other one is cold, okay? So this is on this dot right here is the lower level for cold. That's the upper level for cold. And then this dot is the lower level for hot. So if you drove the car 15-20 minutes or so, that's the upper level for hot. So I have a little bit too much, but I'm not going to be concerned because I'm draining the fluid anyway, around 20 minutes. But yeah, so there's the upper level. I'm a little high, but let's take it for a quick drive. Okay, so I've been driving for roughly 30 minutes now, and the car is drastically better. Now, what I'm going to do, 3 days or so ago, I did a video regarding torque binding with this specific vehicle. And at full stop and full steering lock, which we will do right now, the car barely moved. It shuddered, it vibrated. And ultimately, I showed on how you can just disable the all-wheel drive system temporarily. So here we are again in the same parking lot, fully stopped. Turn the steering wheel all the way over. Can't go anymore. Foot off the brake. Nothing. No vibration. It's completely gone after one flush. I am going to change the fluid one more time, but completely gone. Again, my foot is on the brake, full lock. Nothing. Completely gone. Amazing. That's all it was. Transmission fluid. Old transmission fluid that needed to be flushed out. And this is really why, and again I talked about this in the previous video, why you want to change your transmission fluid on time. And what I explained was I just overlooked it, to be perfectly honest. Time goes by so quickly. I changed the fluid last at 60,000 miles. The car now has 148,000 miles. I did 90,000 miles on the fluid. It's really my own fault. It's stupid, but ultimately learn from my mistake. So give this a shot on your Subaru or any other vehicle, and chances are you will have good success and save yourself a bundle of money. The local Subaru dealer wanted $1,000 to change the valve body. No need to go crazy. Just change the fluid and that's it. So thank you for watching. I hope this helps a number of you out there. That's really why I started this channel years ago, was just to help people out there save a ton of money and really learn on how to maintain and repair your own vehicle. So thank you for watching. We'll see you next time, and stay well.